Welcome to your weekday cup of the word. Today we're in Matthew chapter 22, and we're going to look at some further tough teaching. Today, here as Jesus enters Jerusalem, another day to do some more preaching as he heads into that final week before his crucifixion. He's going to rebuke the Pharisees. And one way he's going to do that is through the parable of the wedding feast. In that parable, he explains how angry God gets with those who are too busy to come to the feast and the salvation that he's prepared for all of us. And then from there, he's going to deal with some questions that his enemies use to try and trap him. The Pharisees are going to try and trap Jesus with a question about taxes. And then the Sadducees are going to ask him about marriage and about death. In order to really appreciate the Sadducees question, you have to understand something about the Sadducees. There's an old saying, the Pharisees were fair, you see, and the Sadducees were sad, you see. The reason the Sadducees were sad is they did not believe in a resurrection. They believed when you died, you're dead all over. And yet they came to Jesus with a question about what happens in the resurrection. The question wasn't because they believed in the resurrection, it was because they wanted to needle Jesus and try and trap him. Didn't work. Jesus gave a perfect answer. And his answer, as always, was based off of what does the Scriptures say? From there, Pharisees are going to ask him about what's the greatest commandment. He'll handle that with aplomb. And then Jesus turns on them, and he's going to ask them a question. And about Christ, about the Christ, and about how can the Christ be both David's son and David call the Christ Lord? The fact of the matter is they didn't have an answer to it because they did not know the Scriptures the way Jesus did. And so they shut their mouth, walked away, and another victory for God's Son. And that is Matthew chapter 22. That's your Daily Cup.